How are you this morning?
I am going to be better.
Beautiful.
We are in Nigeria. We thank God for another day of life.
Absolutely.
This is new day.
Absolutely. New day, new opportunities, new horizons. All right. Do you think we should start talking about Canada because it's boldly written in front of the Saturday Punch? Nigerian government is saying Canada has insulted us. Canada is throwing back its own punches. What are your thoughts exactly in this back and forth between Nigeria and Canada?
You know, as a broadcaster of long years of standing, I've had the opportunity of this joke where somebody is interviewed. He said, I comment my reserve. I've commented my reserve on Canada-Nigeria issue yesterday. Why is Nigeria sulking? They refuse your high-ranking official visa. And that's why the whole heaven will crumble, come down. You're only showing that it pains you. And I used the proverb yesterday. If you keep every day you just beating your chest, you are telling the gods where your life is. You know, every time you beat your chest and you don't. Nigeria could as well use diplomatic passiveness to react to the issue. Because the ones they keep talking about it is like, this thing we did to them, they pain them. As they pain them, they sweet us. That song. They shouldn't do that because it's all about diplomatic relations. The legendary tortoise said another corpse will
But do you think there's a background to this denial?
There must be.
So nobody's talking about the background.
And nobody want to talk about why was this
why was it denied?
And then even the people that they rejected the visa, if you apply for visa, and people said rejected, they stamp it on your passport. You can ask for it or petition. They will tell you why.
Why? Just
like Nigerians, embassies and consulates all over the world are rejecting people's visa. They tell you the reason why you're not qualified to enter Nigeria at that time. Remember, is at that particular point in time because you can appeal and subsequently you get visa to go. But there was an international event that was going on there, and that's why they feel it's a shame. It is. Who said Nigeria must get visa to enter anybody's country? Canada is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. You can as well reject visa from Canadians, a high-ranking official from Canada, if you want to have pound of flesh. But if you think you still have the relationship, is tilting. It's not a relationship of equals. The Igbo proverb, use that mind, that knowing that you have not gotten there, to take certain insults and swallow it. But you don't just keep making hell out of it. And everybody will know that you really do not really have power to do anything. There is what you call, using indifference to show your enemy or somebody who has done something wrong to you. In fact, it's the highest weapon you can use.
I think it's an art of war.
Yeah. So that indifference Nigeria should have shown. I don't know why everybody is just blowing hot. If you finish blowing hot, the visa has been rejected. And at that particular point, our GOC needed to go, is all event that is happening there has been cancelled. And the people giving you visa, from their point of view, everything is clearer. Why? It's like if Nigeria rejects visa and then the country is blowing hot. But Nigeria know why you cannot come into our country at that time and we reject your visa. So what is, I don't understand. That is FG blows hot. Where's the response as battle to deflect criticisms and is distraction. Actually, that's how I feel. And I've said that yesterday in my review because he appeared again today and it was boldly written in Punch. And Punch keep punching. But that's interesting. It's beginning to become clear. You don't get all you want.
We actually need to know what led to the denial.
That's what left for the country to study and go and nip that at the board. Instead of blowing hot and all. If you blow hot finish, it will solve the fact that Canada is a sovereign country, just like Nigeria. Although, being a sovereign country as well, we can blow hot because we also feel free to blow hot. But what we are asking is, every of your action and reaction, what do you intend to achieve? Blowing hot rejected visa at the embassy, you're blowing hot in Nigeria. You're blowing hot, you are preaching to the congregation. What of those who didn't come to church? That's what I'm saying. I mean, we should save ourselves that energy and find out why visa we reject. And it's becoming clear, like I want to say, that it means that even the rich can also cry. It's getting to the point to know most countries have saying that certain decisions taken in the country in the past can lead to rejection of visa, to denial of visa even now. I use the proverb. It's not the day a child spilled the oil that is scolded. It's the day he spilled the glue.
Yeah.
So Nigeria may have spilled oil a long time. But they didn't think about it. Now they spilled the glue.
Yeah. Do you feel this particular event, whatever denial, would affect bilateral relationships between Nigeria?
It will. It's already having the Ihumon has been torn, and it's only how to sew it back. And they know at the highest level of diplomatic relations how to mend and make amends. Because if you deny somebody fish, you can pay back with meat. Anyone who will ask the Canadian visa denial, not we have more problem in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Afenifere. They are grieving because they lost their foremost leader.
Ayo Adebanjo.
May
your soul rest in peace.
Amen.
The last issues during the elections that the man came boldly speaking and calling for unity of Nigeria, calling for stoppage of continuous marginalization of sections of Nigeria, calling for certain things that
federal character
that is happening in Nigeria that is not good, that will not lead to unity of Nigeria in the future. He did it, and at least he said all that to Nigerians, and he died. May his soul rest in peace, and may the angels of heaven sing him to sleep. If not anything, at that later part of his life that he's begun to count now, he was able to still make his stance known. And it's on record. That's why everybody is mourning him. And the group that mourns Adebanjo more, I tell you, the Southeast Nigeria.
How so?
Yes, the Southeast region. If you remember what happened during the elections, how he was talking about marginalization of the Igbo nations in the Nigerian election, he was the only very strong and powerful Afenifere and Yoruba man who stood against all odds to speak for Igbo race, to speak for unity, to speak for equity and equality, to speak for justice and fair play. And then, that's all I can say. He was really interested in telling these new generations that handshake across the Niger is still possible. So, now that he's gone, the remaining people on earth running their race of life now, whatever they do with their life, whatever Adebanjo stood for, and even still standing for, because he said, even when I'm dead, I still stand with
still fighting.
So whatever he stood for and what is still standing in spirit, we hunt Nigeria if they do not look at those issues. At 96, he has 4 years to be a centurion.
Oh, well, what a legacy. Rest in peace for Ayo Adebanjo. Well, moving on, you remember the viral video that made the rounds quite recently of a Unizik female student?
The university
physically putting her hands on a fully grown man that turned out to be a lecturer in the university. Now, the nation carries
the overrated
Unizik expels female student who fought lecturer.
We salute the decision of Nandazikwe University Oka to sack this beast of a young woman. And that's a beast, because overrating believe that you can do anything against a lecturer.
Over TikTok?
No, a lecturer is passing, because yesterday, the viral video of the lecturer, he said, since the board and the Senate already have, it's good I just say this without going into whatever happened. When he made a comment in the viral video and said, I came out of a lecture hall, and I was, I am conversant with Nandazikwe University Faculty of Arts. It's a mighty and marvelous building. And it has spacious walkways that connect offices and lecture halls and theater. The man was coming out of classroom and he was moving, and the lady was occupying center of a walkway taking TikTok video. And the lecturer was coming and he was, he didn't know what this girl was doing. And he passed and find that this lady would have captured him in the video. And he said, stop. Start all over and wipe that one that I appeared in. That's where, he said, that's all. The ladies refused and he was like, as a lecturer, let me seize the phone. Are you in this department? Are you in this faculty? Otherwise, if you're in this department, in this faculty, you will know I'm a lecturer and you have some element of respect for me. The lady broke loose from there. That's it.
And held the man physically.
This overrating that you can do anything because you're a girl, and then anything you cook up against a lecturer can stand.
I'm a girl, right?
You know why?
I think the issue is poor home training.
No, but somebody, if you look at her, the pictures that were
she
making...
wasn't raised well.
No, what I'm saying, you can't see who is raised well. That all I'm saying is that
she's
no more like a kid of that matter.
No, regardless.
Whatever she did was well intended to bring that lecturer down. For whatever gross she had for lecturers, it means she came there for a purpose to see who...
I don't think we can, from the video, know whether she had issues with lecturer. I don't think she...
No,
she felt she was her right or her space was, someone infringed on her right, and she felt that was the best way to respond.
Overrating of the fact that as a student, because you're a girl, if he's a boy and the guy, he wouldn't do this.
Sure.
So something would have told her, because you're a girl, you can, when worse comes to worse, you can raise any accusation against the lecturer and then he stands.
No.
So, but that's it. Thank God the Nandazikwe University management has actually, because this would have been a very bad influence. You know how many people she has influenced with. Because you did notice, if you watch that video, that this young woman is a beast.
It was
horrible. Should have been another kind of thing.
I think it's a home training. It's a home training.
I think parents should just do better. When we were in the university, if you are rusticated, that's the word they were using.
Yeah.
If you are rusticated from the university,
no other university
will take you.
Yeah.
So let people watch out for whoever she is, and they let the rest of the university. She should go. She's not even good for the market where to sell ose and gari, because she could fight anybody.
It's unfathomable.
She's
a lecturer.
A beast of a woman.
Moving ahead, really. I'm looking at Two-Face's drama, marriage issues, allegations, counter allegations, divorce, romance with lawmaker. And currently, the mother has come out to say this young man has been missing since February the 10th.
I think the Two-Face as a young boy started, with music and got to the peak of his career as a popular Nigerian music star and all that kind of thing. I don't think all these dramas are necessary to push the envelope of Two-Face Idibia to any other level. Because when he started, if it was when he started, you can now say, oh, we are worried about Two-Face. Two-Face Idibia is a father of so many children and husband of so many wives. So that he's not married to one wife should not...
Well, it's the mother that is concerned.
Every mother will...
Every mother should be concerned.
But every mother, even if you're a mother, you know your child. Because every mother knows the child. So if you are born to a man who's, the sweet banana for all the women in Nigeria, you should know how to handle that. Because the man, he said, the person who fetches firewood infested will always invite the lizard for feast and visit. Sure. That is a case of Two-Face Idibia, hoping that the drama does not get to the extreme. Because the day they are declaring the man missing, there's the day that we had that the guy is somewhere proposing. So you get confused. Because let the case not be the case of the children who are eating what they call it, mushroom. Mushroom kill your father.
And your mother.
Mushroom kill your mother.
And
they come back and said, what are you holding in your hand? It's the mushroom. Two-Face Idibia, mushroom could not kill you because you have dealt with so many women, and the last of your queen, African queen, will not be your end. That's our prayer. But you should be careful. Whatever is sweet can kill.
Absolutely.
I mean, you are not they don't make for you. You just jump from one relation, propose the next day. You can do that, and before we know it, your family is declaring you missing. So you have to be careful. It's not good that a man will go back to the spirit through the route through which you came to the world.
What
You
does
came
that
to this
even
one-
mean? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm talking like an elder. You can find that else in another elder can explain to you. When you are
So you came through. You came into the world through a particular
route.
It's not good. You end.
go back-
You go back
you
through
go
that.
back.
So you should find another.
You should go through another route. I mean, it's not. It won't sound well. That one you'll be writing your epitaph.
Well, Two-Face.
You said this is a man who came through this route and went back through
Well,
that
we
route.
wish you the best, Two-Face. We hope you make more quality decisions
And so-
going
and so,
forward. And please,
this will
please come
restore
out from hiding so your mother can, rest her head. All right, all right. Let's move on. Federal government lawmakers kick over Binance executive $150 million bribe claim. Now, this man is saying that he has bribed some lawmakers. Lawmakers have come back to say, we'll meet in court. There are no, there's no evidence and things like that. What are your thoughts?
It's sub judice. Let them meet in court.
In the meeting court.
But Nigerians will not pretend that we didn't hear that the Binance man said he is bribed. And when that happens in Nigeria, you begin to pull back. It's just like the case of the young woman we talked about in university. So many young women in universities, whenever they have case with a lecturer, it's like, we know. It's always good for chicken to always die in the door mouth of fox. But when you find fox dying at the door mouth of chicken, it becomes So in this case, it's still on the familiar lane of bribery and corruption. And when you hear that, let it go to court. I have nothing to say. Let the court decide whether, because somebody gave bribe and he suffered the humiliation and was detained in Nigeria until even how he was released to go tells you something has happened. And now he's coming out to claim he bribed with that amount of money. And they say we go to court. That is what you call in a reverse psychology. Why are they, if they're sure, they should keep quiet. Go and prepare their case. Why are they coming out to say we meet in court? How that one is, if they are sure they didn't take the bribe, you don't need to come out on this and say we meet in court. So let it not be what I'm thinking. Let it not be what I'm thinking.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Moving on. How $700 million Delta Steel Company was sold by Bureau of Public Enterprise for $30 million. Question is, who valued it at $700 million and when? And why was it sold at this time at far less $30 million?
It wasn't at this time it was sold. It was during the BPE.
Bureau of Public Enterprise.
So they should ask El-Rufai.
El-Rufai has his own issues.
He headed that at that time when they were actually almost selling off Nigeria. When they were just selling all their facilities of Nigeria to anybody who is willing to buy at that time.
But,
the idea of BPE of making public-private enterprise, it was good at that time, but it was like, if you are distressed, it's like distress sale. When Nigeria wasn't distressed at that time, it could have been a gradual thing. It was like BPE should not have sold Nigeria off that. It could have been a continuous thing. At any time you value it, you know that some of these facilities could gather value. If it's all, they're lucky they didn't sell Nigerian airport. Yes, the Nigeria, what they call the Nigeria Port Authority then was up for grabs, and then they started selling. That's how NEPA, Nigerian Electric Power Authority, was sold. That's how so many facilities were sold.
Now, why is this an issue now?
It's an issue because if you see what was put there, if you see what was put there at the value, you sold it at $300 million.
It doesn't make business sense. It doesn't make business sense.
So the thing is good for us maybe you're talking at this time and somebody is looking at it. But at that time, who was ready to buy a company that is not active?
But they valued it at $700 million.
They valued, but who give you the $700 million? It's not what you value your car. It might be distressed. You want to sell this cup. The value of this cup at this time you want to sell it is actually 10 naira. But because you are distressed, somebody give you 30 naira. You say, instead of my cow to run away with, I will cut the tail.
Rather cut the tail.
That is what happened at that time. So if you're talking about it, it's like, but then it's also an error. If you notice, must you have sold it? That's the question. At the gap, 700 million, 30 million. No. It means when we begin to remember it, there are certain things Peter Obi said. Say I go to a hotel, you tell me I'll pay $250 to sleep for a night in a hotel. He said, if I lie down in that room, I will sleep. So each time we remember this Delta Steel Company that was valued at $700 million and somebody sold it at $30 million, we will sleep. But it has been sold. But especially you count the ceilings, hey, this is total giveaway. Total giveaway. Is it a bazaar sale? Is it an auction? In Nigerian auctioning system, there's always you throw and go back to collect. So who bought it? That's the question. If the person is in Nigeria, we call him and say, come, let us
renegotiate. Absolutely.
Even if it's a foreign body, we said, no, we will renegotiate. Because I was telling them, and it was a joke. They were a gathering of women. I said, all of them are poaching their women. All of them are. I said, you are married. And they have added so much value to your family, the family where you are married. And they've added value to you too. Yeah. So what you do is, if you think every time the women will say, I've added so much value to my husband's house, it's okay. Let's invite for renegotiation. Let your people come. Let the in-laws come.
Is that even tradition or something that plays out in your head?
No. I'm just saying, but that will tell you that to remember that if you ask everybody to go back to their grandmother's or grandfather's house, you won't find anybody at home. Because everybody must go to their maternal grandmother, go to their
true,
if you come back to your house, you are gone and somebody is coming to your house. So it's a circle. So let nobody blow anything out of it. We all have values. And let nobody blow his own value more than the other.
That's right.
And then, because we need each other to live.
That's right. Let's talk about USAID fund. I think it's Weekend Trust. There's been so much talk about USAID, and we have very limited time to talk about it. This carries USAID funded Boko Haram, other terror organizations, coming from a U.S. congressman. And there has been talks about USAID funding, journalists to carry some narratives that are against some people. What are your thoughts, really?
Over the years, when
we have very limited time to do this.
And I've worked on USAID projects and the other funded projects in Nigeria. What I was saying is that for over 50 years of international funding and aid and all that to Nigeria, we could not possibly show anything. We look at this aid thing, it's just for these strong nations to have access to your nation. That's all. When they say that
access to what? Resources?
Access to information, access to data. Come in and go, access to be on you, to know what you are doing, especially when they see you have potentials of growth. They will pretend they are giving you aid so that they'll be on you to monitor you.
Information.
If you cut, even if you are not powerful nation, just say you are severing relationship with US, they become pensive. Oh, what is this guy trying to do? But with aid and bilateral relations that our nations is engaging you.
But saying that they funded Boko Haram.
But if you are bringing that kind of money into Nigeria, you don't know how directly or indirectly you enter the hands of. It's like throwing stone into a marketplace. You want to fund the Nigeria water.
You think it's a good thing U.S. has been disbanded by Trump administration?
No, there is not even disbanded. It's saying somebody has found out that some of this money that they're collecting from Congress, the taxpayers' money of U.S., has entered into some hands that they don't want. You don't fund your enemy. You don't fund things that will come back directly indirectly to fight you. So this scatterhead president of America, everybody has his own value.
Absolutely.
Even scatterbrain can scatter things.
Aside the benefits.
When you scatter things, you now see the loopholes. But when people are keep covering, but there's too much coverage. So the man has come, open up. So
even in healing, you have to open up a wound to clean it out.
Now you are coming as a medical person, you are right there. So if you do not open it, and you stitch both the wound and both the pulse and everything, the inflammations and all the disease inside it.
It's a fester.
How the thing will blow up. So over time, this thing has been patched, and somebody by whatever design of God has brought up Trump. And then he didn't even use it, so he brought Elon Musk. Elon Musk gathered some young 20, 30 aged IT persons and said, let's look at what has been happening in this agency of government for a long time. USAID is so powerful. You didn't see their chain of people fighting Trump. These people have become so powerful. We have some hints. Within 1 week, they revealed that the amount of money that USAID has spent and where they spend this money is not in direct alignment with the wish of the people of America who are breaking
Yeah,
this
I understand that. But what direct benefits or indirect benefits does this, development have on Nigeria? Because people are crying.
It get worse and then get better.
And get better.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it get worse because
Beautiful.
people, I saw visual videos of people who are HIV patients going to the health centers in Uganda to go and look for their normal drugs. And they said the center has been closed.
Wow.
And the woman was like, I'm confused. I don't know where to go. Now, a lot of organizations, they are funding in Nigeria, especially water, they are conversant with. They've closed down for now. They say, hold on.
Yeah.
Pay only salary. Let the review finish. Then we will now decide whether what we decide will now be funded.
Absolutely.
And then that's why I said, at that time they decide what they've been funding.
Yeah.
They would have cleared the air that they're funding what they intend to fund.
Unfortunately, we have to go now. Yes.
Yes.
I know you're full of matter, but we have to go. Our time has actually come to an end. So thank you so much for being here, Chris Maduka. Always a pleasure talking to you. And thank you for staying there. Don't go anywhere. New Day continues right after this break.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.